Hey everybody, Laurel Ann Stark here, and I'm filming a bunch of my 1-minute tip marketing videos today, and I thought it'd be really cool to show you guys my setup. So that way if you are a small business owner and you are looking to do some marketing videos and you're wondering like how do I even do that, and what equipment do I need, and how much do I need to spend, and all that stuff, I thought I would just try and shorten your learning curve a little tiny bit by giving you the inside scoop on how I roll. So I basically have two different setups. One is like wicked low budget, really easy to do, and the other one is a little bit more, let's just say high maintenance. So it really kind of depends on what your budget is, but here's my first setup. So welcome to my home office. It also doubles as a child painting area and a gym and also a studio. So there's a lot going on in here. I like to multitask. I like my space to be as basically work as hard as I do. I don't know if that's the right way to put that, but anyways, okay, so my first setup is my desk. So I'll just show you guys here. And the first piece of lighting equipment that I use, which is also multitasking, is this thing called a daylight. So it's basically like this giant light. And it's supposed to be for seasonal affective disorder, or basically for anybody who lives on the West Coast, people who get sad when it's cloudy all the time. And I am one of those people. I lived in Calgary for 12 years and it was super sunny there. And then when I moved to the coast, I was definitely feeling the impact of not as much sun. So I invested in one of these, mostly for the seasonal affective disorder stuff. But then I realized like, hey, this is a really fantastic light. So most of the videos I do just use my iPhone and I sit here in front of my daylight. Does this look familiar? I was Skyping with my sister the other day and she's like, I feel like I'm on one of your videos. And so yeah, I basically just hang up so I take my computer laptop, oops, ignore that. And then I just like hang my iPhone off the top of this and it works out to be like a perfect height. So yeah, a bunch of the videos I do are just like that. So the cost is like, I think it's like $200 for the daylight and whatever you're already spending on your phone. So that's it, cheap, right? And then I typically have my handy whiteboard over here, and on it I've jotted down 3 different points that I want to cover for each video topic. So I don't have like a giant script or anything. I know my material, so I don't memorize it like beforehand because, yeah, I know it. So I just put down, like, I make sure I'm clear on the topic of my video, and then I write down 3 points as to what I want to cover. So for today, what I wanted to do was show you DIY, like behind the scenes, how I roll in my office, and also show you 2 different options. One as like a really low budget sort of situation, and the second one as a higher budget thing. And the last point I want to cover as well is why video is so important. So I will tell you why video is so important. So the first is that 99% of our communication is nonverbal. So what that means is when people watch videos of you, they get a pretty good idea of who you are and if they'll like you just based on, the way that your eyebrows lift and how you talk and the set of your shoulders and those types of things. It also is a thought leadership thing. So when people see you on video, they automatically assume that you are sort of an expert in your field. Also, videos will increase the amount of time that people stay on your website in terms of time on the page. They're more likely to share a video than any other piece of material. They're much more likely to remember you, and they're much more likely to buy. So for those 5 reasons, I recommend everybody does video, even if you're totally shy about it and you've never done it before. It's like the best bang for your buck as far as marketing dollars go. So on to my more pro setup. So I kind of went a little nuts on this because certain things I like to delegate, things that I don't like, and things that I do like and I want to get better at, I typically do it all myself. So I'm a control freak, and anybody who's ever worked with me, you'll know that I am a little bit. And so I just like things to be done the way that I like them to be done, and it's hard for me to delegate some things. So I just bought all this video equipment. So the first thing I did is I got this camera here. So it's the, what is it even? It's the Rebel EOS, and that, yeah, it wasn't cheap. I think it was like $1,200 or something like that. And then I got this Extendo mic, the Rode mic. And I got to tell you guys, if you're using the Rode mic, make sure that you turn it on, because there's nothing more frustrating than doing a video and then realizing that you don't have any volume. Like, how annoying is that? So yeah, that's one pro tip. And then I bought this thing from Amazon, and it's like this $200 setup, and it's basically got 2 kind of background lights and then 2 like actual lights. And the reason for those is that the big background lights, they kind of blow out your background. So I've got painted wooden paneling, super sexy look. So I've got painted wooden paneling, but I wanted to make sure that the lines, you can't really see the lines in the professional videos that I'm doing. So that's what those lights are for. And also it came with this backdrop situation. So it has like this big, I don't know if you guys can see that, this big sheet essentially. So I got really motivated and I ironed it the very first time I used it, and I haven't, it's gotten kind of wrinkly and I haven't used it really. But you do have a white screen and then you have a green screen as well that you can use, and a black one. I'm not sure what you would use the black one for. And I would love to have the skills to use a green one and make myself like go on an awesome background or whatever it is. But yeah, not quite there yet. And then another thing that I do is, it's kind of a pain to set up this whole lighting situation, I think anyways. So I just don't mind my 70s carpet. I don't know if you guys can see that. No, you can't. Okay. So I just put pieces of tape on the floor so I know where everything goes when I put it back, you know, when I take it all apart and put this place back into being my personal gym. So that way I remember, you know, where each light's supposed to go and where the camera's supposed to go for best balance and for good angles and all those types of things. So in terms of when I use certain videos for certain things, typically if I'm doing like a behind the scenes thing or Facebook Live, obviously I'm just using my iPhone. And if I'm doing like, yeah, just a spur of the moment kind of deal, I typically just use the iPhone, and you know what, it works great. You don't need to go get all that other crazy equipment, but I did want to experiment with a more polished look and feel. And so basically once I do those professional videos with that camera, then I send it to a video editor and he'll splice everything, and then he'll put in the captions, and then I publish it, you know, with my logo and stuff like that on it as well. So that's what that takes. So typically in terms of workflow, I film 4 videos at least at once, because if I'm gonna do my hair and like pick out my outfits and get the lighting set up and all that stuff, then I want to get the best bang for my buck. So I'll just go out there and crank out like 4 to 6 videos, and then I'll drop them once a week. So typically that'll take me like an afternoon or so to do. So those are all my secrets. Took me a while to figure out. I will definitely tell you that lighting is definitely the most important thing. Drink lots of water too. It helps with your complexion. And also spend a little bit of time and try and come up with a catchy title, so that way people will actually want to watch what it is that you're sharing. And don't be afraid to mess up your lines or anything like that. It's much more endearing if you're not perfect, and makes you more human and relatable. So that's totally fine. And you'll get better. You'll definitely get better. If you want some inspiration, go to my YouTube channel and check out the very first video I ever did. I think that was like 6 or 7 years ago now, and it is so awkward. And I'll just tell you guys a quick story. So I was doing my very first video and I was so nervous, and I was living in this condo in Calgary, and it was really, really hot that day, and I couldn't open the windows because this guy was mowing his lawn outside. And so it was like even hotter there, and I had my phone balanced on this shelf, and it kept like falling off as I was halfway through. So I'd get my lines done, and I'd have it nailed, and then I would drop the freaking phone on the floor. It was just a nightmare. And so it took me like, I think, all day to do just one video, but I persevered and I made it through. But anyways, if you're wondering about looking like an idiot, don't worry about it. You can go ahead and just be an idiot, and it's still honestly better to look dumb on video than not have a video at all. Because you know what, we're just people here, you know, we're entrepreneurs running our own businesses, and it's not like we're totally perfect and airbrushed when we show up at business meetings either, right? So rock on with your bad self, be unique individual, and honestly, video is the most powerful online marketing tool you can use. And I've had people call me up out of the blue that I didn't even know from a different country wanting to do business with me just because they watch my videos. So it totally works. I would love to hear your comments below. If you have any questions, I'd love to elaborate on my setup here. If you think that I missed anything, please let me know. And if you want to make fun of me because of my awesome 70s carpet, I will understand. I hope you have a great Friday, and we'll talk soon. Bye.